SeaWorld trainer Dawn Branchnow was killed by a killer whale last week. But Saturday, the whales resumed performing, and the whale who killed her didn't perform, but will remain in, quote, an active contributing member of the team. Now, some folks are very upset about this, and some folks are saying, no, this is okay. It's what you need to do. What do you...
Well, this particular whale has, sired females, and they have, I think, 5 calves. But so he's sort of being put out to stud, sort of, I guess.
You know what they listen. This was a terrible tragedy.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures now of what they're doing, and the trainers are not next to the whale the way she was there behind glass. But what happened was evidently that she had her ponytail in the water. And the whale thought that it was a new toy.
Right.
I am hardly here to defend whales. But people have said, send this, although I should be defending whales. People say, send the whales out to sea. This is you can't send this whale out. And the whale was not trying to kill her. The whale thought that this was fun. So, but people are still going to SeaWorld, and SeaWorld
I was reading that the whales in the ocean are constantly moving. This whale and whales in captivity, they sort of sit on top of the water a lot. They rest. This whale also doesn't have teeth, so he has to. They were saying that the trainers have to get the fish out of his mouth because he doesn't have teeth. The poor thing. The whale is like an old whale who needs to go to like a nursing home for whales.
Understandably so, but you have to understand. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be shocking that we've taken something called a killer whale, put it in a tiny pool, and then it does something like this.
Well,
we shouldn't necessarily be.
It was bred to be in the tiny pool.
It's still by nature. By nature, it is a killer whale. This is how it was designed to be. So it was actually doing what it's meant to do. On the other hand, though, you think, okay, if they're going to continue to capitalize, or even, I would hope that they wouldn't make money on anyone coming to look at this whale, make a spectacle out of it.
Well,
this is something that is a pure tragedy. To benefit the family, they should not have this whale visible to anyone at the time.
Did they, that the day that the whale killed the girl, there were 20 people in the audience. The other day when they resumed, there were 2,000 people in the audience in the cold rain. What does that tell you?
But you know what? We always, also, you know, when you go to the circus and you see, remember with the tigers and the guy put his head in the tiger's mouth, it's like in their genetics and their DNA, you put, you know, it's a killer whale, it's a tiger, you put your head in the mouth, he's supposed to bite you. I don't know.
Let's remember why animals go to SeaWorld also. You know, they are sometimes unable to survive because they've been ill or they've been hit by things. You know, one of the things that SeaWorld does do is it does display the animals. It does show these animals in the ways that they can explain to kids. Here's how the whale is. Here's what a killer whale is. That's what they do. And one of the things that I think maybe they got away from for a moment is remembering that these are wild animals and they are unpredictable because we don't speak whale. We don't speak whale. We don't speak tiger. We don't speak monkey.
Do you remember Siegfried and Roy?
Yes.
And the tiger that they had trained? Yeah. So, I mean, these things do happen. SeaWorld is very generous and contributes a great deal to the society in which they're in, and they should obviously they're not being punished, but they should not be. But what you're talking about, part of the thrill is, as awful as it sounds, will this person have his head? You know, part of it is the excitement of and the danger of it.
But what I see is they have these animals, even the whale, like before this happened tragically, you know, you got the whale, the killer whale, you know, pretending like it's a little dog. You look at the lions at the circus when I took Jeffrey, and I'm going, they got elephants on top of a can. They're making the tigers roll over like a dog. It was something a little creepy about that. Watching, these are, you know, animals that are predators. And so I just felt a little...
Did you not know that before you went?
No, I did. You know what? I did. But I went, my parents took me when I was a little girl, and when I was sitting there with Jeffrey and I looked at this as an adult, I said, I don't know if this is a good thing to see tigers rolling over like they're dogs and, you know, them cracking it. And I felt bad, and I said I wasn't going to bring them again because I just didn't like it.
Trying to undo nature is a difficult...
It may go away, you know, these kinds of events. They used to have freak shows in circuses years ago.
I hope circuses do not go away. I hope they don't go away because for a lot of kids, it's the only time they're going to see any animals like this.
Cirque du Soleil.
That's not the same.
They don't have animals.
Cirque du Soleil. Not for kids.
And they are